It is May the 7th. Everybody ready for a beautiful day? Good morning to you. I'm WESH 2 First Warning Meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, just about, give or take. Chat about what's going on in the world of weather and, look, long range, all that fun stuff. I got to start here at Space Launch Complex 41. The Atlas V, mighty as it may be, still hanging out on the pad. Had a valve issue yesterday, and the ULA team, who prides themselves on 100% mission success, went ahead and scrubbed, saying they wanted to take a look at it, and because they are now announcing that there is a launch time no earlier than Friday, more than likely they will be replacing said valve in the second stage Centaur. So that's fine. Got to get it right. They'll be doing that. It's a beautiful morning. Just kind of wish that we would have got, look at all those birds. Kind of wish we would have gotten a pretty launch. Oh well, that's totally okay. All right, let's head down the shoreline just a little bit, see what's doing over here in Port Canaveral. Oh man, it's beautiful. The shimmering water there. Not a problem. All right, let's go over to New Smyrna Beach, see what's doing on our tower cam network shot there. Lovely, right? Yeah, I'll take that. All right, let's head inland a little bit. This is the Orlando International Airport tower cam. We are looking good. Lake Eola from the view. We have it turned off to the west. It's a beautiful blue sky. Ocala, good morning to you. Checking in, seeing how you're doing. The sun is shining. And Tavares, we're not going to go through all of them. We'll just do most of them. It's pretty. It's a beautiful morning. Beautiful morning. All right, first warning, live Doppler radar. A couple of teeny tiny showers off the shoreline. That's it. Look at these readings this morning. It's feeling a little more like summer, right? 73 in the city, 75 degrees in Leesburg. It's 72 in Palm Coast, 75 outside in Melbourne. Forecast today, bringing that heat up. This is feeling like summer, and we could thank that southwest wind component. 83 by 11 o'clock, 88 degrees our 1 p.m. temperature, and 92. Say it isn't so, right? 92 degrees our high temperature today. Average high temperature is 87, but anytime you get a southwest wind, oh man, those temperatures, they just love to climb. And even the beaches start to heat up, right? Yeah, that's just the way that it goes. It's just the way that it goes. It's going to be getting even warmer than that. Don't you worry. It's going to be getting even warmer than that. Now, the reason we're not to full-on summer is the muggy meter, okay? This is still in the humid category. I guess we've crossed. We were comfy this morning. Now we're into the humid category just a little bit. So we're definitely getting there. All right, so 92 degrees is our high temperature today. Here's how it will feel with the heat index. Remember, this is a big, fancy math equation. Still into the caution category. We're not into the extreme danger category or any of that, but it's definitely going to be the first round of days, the next couple of days, where we get hot. Feeling like temperatures in the upper 90s to about 100. Actual temperatures making it into the mid-90s. It's going to be hot. So let's do this. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. We'll build on this theme and then we'll look at the models and do all of that fun stuff. All right, so here's a look at our 7-day forecast. Today, the beginning of this big heating trend. 92 in Orlando, 95 tomorrow, 97 degrees on Thursday, and 95 on Friday. Okay, I'll give you a few seconds to just accept our fate, right? Because it's hot. All right, so that's the 7-day forecast. But what I'd like to do is hit this button and share with you what the American GFS model is saying. Remember, computer models are guidance, not gospel, okay? But the computer model is saying 98 today. Now, if that happens, we'll have to change our, for perspective purposes, forecast today's 92, forecast tomorrow's 95. GFS model is saying 98 today, 101 tomorrow. I, for one, will tell you that had better not happen. I don't want to deal with that kind of heat, right? Right? I mean, and then look at Thursday 102, Friday 103. So the computer model is getting a little feisty, okay? Computer model's wanting to go a little crazy. Now, that said, let me dial up our Futurecast models forecast temperatures. And certainly our Futurecast doesn't go super far, but at least it'll give you an idea if it's going to show 98 this afternoon. All right, so thank goodness. 2:30, there's what our Futurecast is showing, 92. What about tomorrow? I mean, it's showing 96. It's not showing 101, but it's showing 96. So you can see how I think our Futurecast model is definitely more correct than the GFS, at least in terms of these temperatures. And then Thursday, let's see what Futurecast is showing. It's not 102 or 103, but our Futurecast model is definitely showing some heat. So, to say that this is the hottest temperatures of the season absolutely plays in. I mean, even today will be tying with the hottest temperature of the season. So, yeah. So let's do this then. Let's talk about some records, okay? Let's just do this. I have to find the right graphic. Hold on. Give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I got to find the thing. We have a bunch of graphics. I always make fun of Tony about this. All right, here's today's numbers. Record highs versus the forecast. Sanford, you'll be close today. Leesburg, you'll be close today. I think the rest of Central Florida will not be close. All right, so that's for today. Okay? Then let's look ahead to tomorrow. All right? Orlando-ish. I don't expect you to be too close. Sanford, yeah, probably going to be getting kind of close there, right? Leesburg, probably going to be getting into record territory. Daytona Beach and Melbourne, there's a little bit more of a gap. All right? Then we look to Thursday. This is the painful one. All right? Orlando, you'll be close. Within about a degree. Sanford, expecting a record. Leesburg, you'll be awfully close. Daytona Beach, you'll be pretty close. And Melbourne, you'll be close-ish. Eigevalt, it is going to be hot. All right? John, it's so hot when the temperature drops below 95, I start to feel chilly. Summer's right around the corner to that point, right? Now, I do want to point out here that we get boiling through Thursday and Friday. Saturday into Sunday, there's a storm system. This storm system is a part of our long-range forecast, okay? But it does bring some rain in our direction. So Saturday into Sunday, believe it or not, it's a weak little front. And as that front comes through, it's enough to turn the winds from a southwest or a hot wind to a more west-northwest. It's enough of a turn that we bring down the boil. We're not sitting here making jambalaya of ourselves, okay? Or is that a crawfish boil? Crawdad, etouffee, whatever the Cajun boil is. That's what we're in right now in these next few days. We'll go back to like a Florida boil. Oh, God, John with the jokes. It's so hot, cows are giving evaporated milk. Bum, bum, ba-da, bow. I know, Wendy. I figured it out. So anyway, it's a mess. Tim's asking about the 15th load in the moving van. How bad are the temps next week? Well, so we've got the GFS, and we can at least just illustrate that. So the GFS is showing next week 90s, but it's not as bad. All right, so let's look at the 7-day forecast, and then let's look ahead to kind of put together some graphical representation of what's happening. All right, so rain chances are going up Friday, Saturday, and then kind of Sunday, Monday. So what's happening here? To the raw computer models we go. All right, so this is the raw GFS, and let's just kind of analyze what's happening these next couple of days and then go long range just for funsies. All right, so Thursday, high pressure's holding in, but you see here Friday into Saturday, there's your Gulf to Carolina low. Kind of starting around the northern Gulf Coast and then firing up an area of low pressure. Now, that'll be interesting to see. I'm not saying that it's going tropical in nature, but as it's pulling away, that low is deepening, right? I'm kind of interested just to see. I mean, that's a 990 low there. 984 off of the northeastern United States coastline. It's interesting. I'm not trying to say it's anything more, but it's interesting. All right, then we roll through. Models are hinting around the 15th, 16th of this like other piece of moisture to kind of hang around. And then the 18th, really start developing low pressure and broad low pressure into the 23rd. Now we know, because we've got all the fancy long-range computers and we run Microsoft Excel spreadsheets and try to put together a long-range forecast, we know that there is a part of the cycling weather pattern that's about to cycle through the end of May. And this is something that I've got in my hurricane forecast. The Gulf to Florida low kind of starts as a northern Gulf low and then fires up something along the South Florida area. May 23rd through May 28th. Is the next repeat of this. I present to you the GFS on May 23rd, super far out there. I mean, you're talking 384 hours out. Trying to show a mess of low pressure forming. If you go back a model run, same idea. 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Trying to form an area of low pressure out there. We go back 2 model runs, it doesn't really have it. So it's trying to figure something out. There's the current run. That, to me, is the Gulf to Florida low, the 23rd through the 28th. Now, would it be on the beginning of the timeline? It's what it's looking like right now. If we switch over and look at the European model, it's trying to throw something in around the 22nd, 23rd. So it's kind of still out there. And then there's this other little storm system around, mid-May. We've known for a while, and I would just kind of back it up by saying we've known that late May was going to become a more active part of the time frame, a much more active part of the weather pattern, right? And so we're already kind of seeing that playing out. Certainly expect it. So we have to watch, just because we know that these are the hot spots in our hurricane season forecast. And if you're curious of the hurricane season forecast, shameless plug because I put too much dang work into this thing, wesh.com/hurricane forecast. And we've got it all there. Now, Jeannie Rowan points out, we really need that rain. Jeannie, you're not wrong. Let's talk a little bit of drought stuff, okay? Keach-Byram Drought Index. First off, let's just start with the Keach-Byram Drought Index across our area. Continuing to dry out, right? Brevard County, particularly dry. And even the metro is starting to get dry. So we're getting there, even if the rain numbers are not that bad. Here's a look at the departure from normal. Orlando approaching a 4-inch deficit. Melbourne right close to average, but it's soil condition. There's all different things that play into this. So that's a thing. And then if we look at the drought monitor, which is put out every Thursday, so it's not been updated in a couple of days. It will be updated in a couple of days. Obviously, Brevard County, moderate drought. Abnormally dry northern Brevard County into Osceola, but into South Florida, you kind of see down through the Treasure Coast and the Palm Beaches there. Hold on, I'll flatten that. There we are. Much better. You can see kind of an abnormal drought from southern Brevard down through Palm Beach County, including Lake Okeechobee. So, yeah, we need some rain. And if we look at the rain, let's do this. Let me switch back over to the raw models. Click you. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this around. We'll go back to the American GFS. And we'll zoom in just a little bit. And what I want to do is precipitation total. All right, so watch how this is through the 14th. Central Florida doesn't have a ton. Once you get into mid-May, watch how those numbers really go up around Florida, right? And if we take an even closer look, our area sees 2, 3, 4 inches with even higher numbers. And where are the higher numbers? Along the shoreline. Certainly would be good. So, but this is all basically mid to late May. So the next couple of days, we are going to stay mainly dry with some rainfall opportunities really ramping up mid to late May. All right? Works for me. We need the rain, for goodness sake. We'll have a couple of opportunities, just not a ton. Yeah. All right. And that's my spiel. So now it's time for us to talk. Hi, good morning, everybody. I'll take those numbers for rain, right? We are so dry in New Smyrna Beach, my yard is gone. We better go find it, Brian, Florida on YouTube. Yes, Chris, website is updated. All right. How we doing? Questions, comments? Bummer about the launch. Better to be safe. Oh, yeah. Look. There's no date that needs to happen. And in learning to fly airplanes, one of the big things that they teach you is how get there-itis kills people. You know? So there's no need to fly any day, whether it's in a Cessna or in an Atlas V or a space shuttle, right? We don't fly space shuttles anymore, but I think we've learned you don't fly unless you're ready to fly. So that's where we're at. Okay? Is there a possible tropical entity at the end of the month? Yeah, I would say that there's possible. If we look at the raw GFS data, GFS, and instead of the zoomed in, let's go back out. Okay, yeah, I mean, you know, this is a mess, but it's something to watch for sure. So yeah, I would say that there is the potential late this month of something. Yeah. Lucas, is the system on the 14th expected to be severe? I mean, I haven't even looked at it, to be honest with you. But yeah. Diane says ULA said no earlier than May the 10th. Yeah, they're going for, at the earliest, they're going for Friday. So they're going to probably be replacing the valve that caused the scrub, which then means, yeah, the potential is there to have a launch on Friday night. I've got my badge. I don't know that I'll make it on Friday, but I've got my badge to head back out. I would say I got a little bit of a sunburn while I was out there. Jenny, I'll be in the Gulf headed on a cruise on the 25th. So if we could will that away, that'd be awesome. Certainly. We'll do everything we can for you. Laura says this no rain has made work days short for us. Yeah, my lawn has not grown as much in the last couple of days as it has in the weeks that had rain. So yeah. Lucas says don't need to rush a launch, especially with lives on the line. And ULA's thing, if you've ever been to like the VIF or any of their facilities, they have big banners because they say 100% success rate 100% of the time. Like they do not to say that SpaceX does, but like that's the thing. They will scrub 1,000 times before they have a mission failure. And I love that. So that's where they're at. And with lives on the line, you know, and it's kind of interesting. I saw some people blasting Boeing this morning. Look, and I am, you know, I get it. But like people were saying like, man, Boeing, last night's scrub, Boeing. And it's like, last night's scrub had nothing to do with Boeing. You know, reality needs to always be understood when it comes to these things. So here, I'll give you an example just because I'm a nerd and because we got here on the subject matter. When you look at the tower cam, okay, Boeing is basically, here, I'll put the arrow on the other side. Boeing is, and it's, oh, you can't see. Boeing has set up the very tippy top little part. That is the Starliner capsule. Everything else from basically here down is ULA. And so the ULA part yesterday was the issue, okay? Which is fine. These things happen. That Centaur's been sitting on the shelf for years because Starliner was so delayed. So, okay, there's a valve issue. Okay, that Centaur 2RL10 motor Centaur is sitting. When I was at the VIF years ago, that very Centaur was on the shelf. Seriously. They had it sitting there. That's for Starliner. You know, because it had the 2 RL10s instead of the 1 RL10. And anyway, it's been sitting there for a while. All right, so there's a valve issue. All right, so they replaced the valve, and then we'll be good to go. That's all. Anyway, you come to Coffee Talk to let the train run off the tracks, but you have to expect that we're going to get into a little bit of the data too, right? You have to expect that, right? That's just the way it's going to go. Oliver says the door bolt jokes are already out. I give Vault. I suppose that's just the way it goes. I suppose that's the way it goes. It's the crazy train. It's the crazy train. Oh, yeah. All right, Marie, be good. Be good. Can we take? Can we get a Coffee Talk aboard a rocket edition? If there's ever a way for me to get on a rocket, then yeah. Why not? I'd love that. I just don't know that there's ever going to be a situation where I'll be able to get on a rocket like that. So don't hold your breath, we'll just say. Arch, if we were better able to land on the moon in the 60s, why haven't we been able to do it again with better technology? Explain it to me in crayon eating terms. First off, that's hilarious. Second off, it just wasn't a priority. You know, that's all. It's a priority now with Artemis. But, you know, when you put a lot of hands in the kettle, things are going to get slowed down and things are going to go over budget. So that's kind of where we're at with Artemis. But that's I hope that's the crayon eating terms. And I've never heard that before, Arch, and I love that. Crayon eating terms. I love that. If it wasn't made of cheese, what's the need? There you go, Jeannie. Janice, Blue Angels were enough. Blue Angels were enough. Yeah. Oh, man. Why is it so hot? Oh, this is a super simple answer. So, atmospherically, you hear us talking about high pressure and low pressure and all of these things, right? Usually we talk about things at the surface. But when you go up high in the atmosphere, that can have a really broad influence on things. Okay? And so late this week, essentially halfway up the atmosphere, 500 millibars, halfway up, you're getting this huge ridge of high pressure developing over the Gulf of Mexico and Mexico. And what that's doing is really pumping up the temperatures, hotter than average across the deep south and even the eastern seaboard, with a whole lot of records in jeopardy. So that's what's going on. And that's why these temperatures are, without sugarcoating it, rough. Oh, man. My son actually ate a blue crayon once as a toddler, so that made me laugh. As long as they're not toxic, right? Break it down Big Bird style. Oh my God, that's Why have I never heard of these? Dom says Boeing got twice the budget of Elon and went years over. Elon did it in half the time and way under budget. But I think, and Eric Berger of Ars Technica did a great article on basically the company structures are just very different. And with more hands in the pot, there's more people grabbing at time and resources. So that's why SpaceX is able to do what SpaceX is able to do. They're positioned vertically very different. It was a fascinating read, and I highly suggest you check it out. Yeah. So that's why Artemis is having the same issues, right? It's just the way that type of maneuver works. When you've got more hands in the kettle, there's going to be more people that are looking to... It's just, one forgets bolts, the other gets it done on time. Oh, man. And I'm not dogging anybody, truthfully, because there's amazing engineers and machinists on both Boeing and SpaceX, and Christopher's asking, is Blue Origin the same thing? No, Blue Origin is its own thing, and Blue Origin is going to be doing some cool crud over there. Listen, the stuff Blue Origin's working on, just because they're not launching today or tomorrow, when they do, New Glenn and New Shepard, these are really cool rockets. Do not forget about Blue Origin. We're going to be talking a lot about Blue Origin in the years to come, and it's going to be so exciting. So exciting. Sarah says, a bit late to coffee talk. Hi, everybody from Bonnie, Scotland. Was happy to see the end of September event is likely to be a rain only is flying out second home. Well, Sarah, we'll have you back and look forward to it. Yeah. Brian says terrible weather. I mean, we're not dealing with tornadoes. Other parts of the country are. Listen, you want to talk about terrible weather, okay? Here's today's Storm Prediction Center outlook for severe weather. All right. A level 3 or numerous risk over Ohio, basically, okay? From Indiana back over to Ohio, West Virginia under a level 2 risk, and this goes down through Kentucky, all right? So that's today. Tomorrow could be a really bad day in terms of severe weather. Big area of a level 3 risk. Big area. And let me tell you something. Why does it pick like Washita instead of Fort Smith? London? Like why are some of these cities picked? I will never understand sometimes how this works. Jeannie, did Eric tell us to buy Blue Origin stock? I do not give financial information, but I, as a nerd, I'm ready to watch the show. Yeah. Tim says, I'm in Ohio. I don't want risk. I know, buddy, but people want to talk about our terrible weather. This isn't terrible. The severe weather threats these next couple of days are particularly bad. So that's what's terrible. Wesh 2 should get with SpaceX and do a promotion and send you in a rocket. I would do that in a flippin' heartbeat. Listen, some people ask, like, were you scared to fly with the Blue Angels? I'm like, no, man, that's a once-in-a-lifetime shot. You can't turn those things down. If I had the chance to go up to space, my God, how amazing would that be? Man. Lucas is asking, is there something specific causing these tornadoes? Collision of air masses. It's a spring thing. It happens every spring. Yeah, it happens every spring. Let's see here. My niece has her graduation outside next weekend, the 18th. You're able to tell what May will look like weather-wise for us. 15, 16, 17, 18th. Models are indicating some form of a decent little storm system, so it'll be interesting to watch. We'll see how it plays out. We'll keep you up to date. All right. Wow. 4 different tornadoes, Carol says. Abilene, Kansas. 4 tornadoes around their farm. Didn't get their house, thank goodness. That's why, look, I mean, Florida weather can get feisty, but like, the tornadoes we get are usually pretty weak. They can get strong. They have gotten strong over the years. But, yeah, no. Jennifer, my kids are graduating next Tuesday. Can't believe it. Wow. Jenny says, I'd much rather prep for heat and hurricanes than have a few minutes to brace for tornadoes. I don't miss them. And that is the way I feel as well. Yep. All right. So it's about to get hot. That's where we're at. I'm going to run to work today. We are finishing work on our hurricane special. I've got one story in the can. I'm doing my long-range forecast story today. Working on some new graphics today. What else do we have? Kidcast today. There's a bunch of other stuff. We'll figure it out. There's a bunch of stuff. It's a busy day. It's always busy. All right. Enough. Listen, hi. Be the sunshine in someone else's day, would you? Thank you for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you again tomorrow morning. 8 a.m. Sound good? Let's do it. Do it. See how it goes. See how it goes. Be good. Take care, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. See you tomorrow morning.